Tommy, it's always amazing to me the things that people tell you, whether you want them to or not. They just unload on you sometimes.
Oh my gosh, yeah, yeah. I hang out with a lot of comedians on a lot of nights, and yes, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, I mean, and some of the times you're thankful they told the tale because it was intriguing, interesting, or weird. Other times it's like you're staring straight at Jim Carrey and Ace Ventura, pet detective, talking, using his butt cheeks for a mouth. All this shit just comes out, and you're like, why are you talking right now? Why do you exist, even?
Let's see. Yeah, there was a meme that I saw that said, all right, after the third time I say that's crazy, let's wrap the story up.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's pretty funny. I think that's crazy is like the universal, like, evolutionary term for I'm not really paying attention.
It's a defense mechanism. It's telling you, it's basically a skunk spraying you is what it is. That's what that's crazy is. It's telling you to back off and shut up. That's what it is.
I use it sometimes and I really mean it. And then it's funny. I use it a lot. I say that's crazy a lot. And I would say 95% of the time I actually mean it. It's like a regular vocabulary phrase for me. But I do understand the other usage of the term. If I'm talking, I say that's crazy. That means I really mean it.
Okay.
No, if I say like that's crazy and I just like kind of trail off, I probably didn't mean it.
Oh, all right. God, you're very complex. You're a complex little diamond over there, aren't you? Got many facets to you.
Well, you know that.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I'm expensive and sought after. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
And you better no.
And you want to fit on all the ladies' fingers. What?
What?
I don't
know. No, Randall.
So
stop that right now.
Yes, sir.
I'm extra goofy tonight. Watch out.
Oh. So I was minding my own business the other day. And
I'm sure you were.
Yeah, I'm always minding my P's and my Q's, you know?
Yeah. I think minding my own business is the best thing I think I'm better at doing that than any other thing in the world. But go ahead.
It's a great skill to have, minding your own business. Minding your P's and Q's needs to be a skill more people need to have. Like, I have a general indifference to most things, and that suits me just fine. Thank you very much.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I don't care who's banging who. I don't care who said what about who. And
right.
By the way, nobody cares if you have a headache or you don't feel good on any given day. Sorry. Don't need to hear the whining. I mean, if I told everyone every time I had irritable bowel syndrome, that's hard to say. I would just
IBS.
Yeah, that's even better. That's why they have letters to abbreviate it, because it's impossible to say anyways.
They're called acronyms there, English major.
Yeah. It's funny to me that irritable bowel syndrome, it sounds like a squeaky fart. And that's ironic to me. When you say it, it sounds like a squeaky fart. Irritable bowel syndrome.
Irritable bowel syndrome. Yeah.
It's gross.
Anyways. Like the sharding of the mouth.
It is sharding of the mouth. Anyways, I'm sitting there and this man comes into my office. You see, my sacred domain.
Oh, he just barges right in.
He walks right in, you see. And he pulled up a chair, mind you. And he starts talking to me. Now, I have only a passing familiarity with this fella.
Oh, no. Not for long.
Yeah, I didn't think we were pull up a chair and stay a while sorts of acquaintances, but here we are. This is the hand I've been dealt. Now I got to deal with this.
He needed you.
Well, apparently, I don't know. I guess something was really bothering him or something. I'm like, oh, my, look at this cheeky bastard. Like, who walks into somebody's domain and just pulls up a chair and sits down if you don't know the person really well?
I'm the quirky guy at work.
Oh, God. I'm like, he's really going to slam some knowledge in my brain cavity here. He's really going to bring it real or something. And he says to me, he looks at me and he says, I bet you dream about computer screens at night. This is what he says to me. And I say, oh my God, I do. Because I have nothing else to say, nothing else to add to the conversation, just humoring him. You know?
Yep, sure. Yep.
I mean, and it's a common thing, work bleeding over into the dreamscape. I'm sure you dream about being hilarious in your dreams all the time. And you're like, you wake up the next morning and you're like, one day my dream will come true. I will be hilarious, right?
Most of the time I say something really funny on stage, and then when I wake up, I can't remember what it was, and I'm like, the one joke that would have got him. The one joke that would have flipped this whole career.
The great American joke.
Right. The Aristocats.
Yeah, right. You would win over the hearts and minds and of all the people in America. Their laughter would be music to your ears.
But it's just too buried in my subconscious, and I can't figure it out. But I tell it on stage in a dream every once in a while.
Tommy would tell this.
And
tell this joke, and he would immediately ascend to Valhalla, riding on the laughter waves of all the fine folk of America.
That means I'm dead.
Well, you're a warrior poet, though. That's what it means.
I'm a Viking warrior prince.
You're a Viking court jester, yes. You have a big beard, you see, and
well, not as big as I used to.
I can see you eating a giant leg of mutton or something. So yeah, and you like to imbibe vast amounts of the booze there. So yeah, you could be a Viking, I think.
Sure, just don't send me to war.
I would never dare.
I mean, I'll stay here and watch them burn the village, guys.
I paint you more as the Bob Hope of the Viking scene. You're there to lift morale of the real warriors.
I could do that. I could do that well, I think.
I think so.
Okay.
Boy, I don't know what we were talking about. Something about dreams.
We're talking about your buddy there, your buddy that came into your office.
Oh, yes.
Your new best friend.
Oh, I had something to say, though.
Dale.
Yeah, he could be a Dale, huh? I actually don't know his name. Isn't that bad of me? That's kind of rotten. I know who he is. Man, I know what he looks like.
There's a bit right there. There's going to come a day soon where you're going to need to know his name, and he's going to think that you guys are at pull-up chairs and talk level, and you're not even going to know his name.
Oh, this is what I was going to say. So there's actually an episode of Seinfeld about that. He has a dream about this killer joke, and at one point during the night when he had the dream, he woke up immediately, and Jerry has a notebook next to his bed, and he writes it down. Uh-huh. The problem is he wakes up the next morning, looks at the notebook and what he wrote down, and he can't even read it because he was half asleep and it was dark, and he just scribbled it. So
either we've talked about this before, or me and the beloved, but go ahead.
Well, that's the whole episode is him trying to decipher what this joke says, and he's sure it's going to be a surefire hit on stage if he could only decipher the language in which it was written.
But he never does, or what?
No, not really. He never does. Everyone has a different interpretation of what it actually says, so he never really.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's why he never became a successful comedian.
Yeah. Poor Jerry Seinfeld. Somebody donate $1 to him. Let's start a Kickstarter to support Jerry Seinfeld.
Does he have a last name in the show? Is it Seinfeld in the show too? Well, it's got to be. The name of the show is Seinfeld, right? Yeah. Well, I guess that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be his last name, but I would guess.
Yes, his name is Jerry Seinfeld on the show. How did you not know that?
I haven't watched a lot of Seinfeld.
You're ridiculous too.
Yeah, when I was younger, it was too
sophisticated
for me. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. I was more into football and
Home Improvement,
and ghosts and stuff. So
you were a Tim Allen man.
I did watch a lot of Home Improvement. I don't know how much I actually enjoyed a lot of Home Improvement, but I did like it. He has the same car as my dad had up until a couple years ago, the 1955 Chevy Nomad. So that was always cool. I liked that he was from Detroit. I went and saw Tim Allen do stand up a couple years ago, and
did you really? Why would you do that?
Yeah. My aunt got us all together, and we all went down to some agricultural thing in Detroit at the Fox Theater. And it
Interesting.
was a cool setup and everything. I don't know if he ran the light, but the spotlight kept moving off stage. It was really weird. It got really weird at the end. But it was a good experience overall. It was fun.
Yeah, but was he funny?
Yeah. We were way up in the balcony too, so it was kind of like a non-intimate thing. It was kind of like watching him on TV almost, but the whole experience was fun, being there with my parents and the
sure.
beloved and my aunt and uncle and stuff. That was cool. They closed the bar a little too early, I thought, but I always think that. So
Yeah. All right, that's fun. Anyways, so he says to me, "I bet you dream about computer screens at night." And I say, "Yeah, I do, you know." And then he says, "Let me tell you a story." And I'm like,
Oh,
"Oh,
boy.
I'm ready, you know." I'm on the
edge of your seat.
edge of my fucking seat. I'm ready. He says one time when I was younger and living in Louisiana, I went out to frog with my brother and my dad. And I'm thinking, to frog? I don't know that I've ever heard frog as a verb before. That's weird.
Yeah. I thought frog was just a noun, but
Yeah, sure. Mind you, I should tell you this real quick. Frogman was telling me a tale not too long ago, last week in fact, about how his stepson accidentally started streaming porn to Frogman's TV one night instead of the stepson's own smart TV. This is what he's telling me. It was a graphic tale and definitely NSFW, not suitable for work, which, kind of a problem because we were directly, squarely in the middle of work.
So this guy has no boundaries. We've said that.
I haven't really. Boy, I don't know. If he has boundaries, they're way out. They're like.
Well, he's telling you inappropriate stories. He barges in your office, sits down.
I'm sure he has boundaries, but they're like Texas-sized boundaries,
He's everybody's buddy.
Yeah. So I have no idea what twisted turns this tremendous tale is going to take that he's about to tell me about these fucking frogs. And it turns out he was going frogging, you see, hunting frogs with his family, which is apparently a thing. And Frogman says to me, we went out on the river and we caught literally hundreds of big bullfrogs.
That would be cool.
It would be cool.
I want to talk to Frogman.
How would that be cool?
Yeah. What are you talking about? Bullfrogs are amazing.
Hundreds of them? I'm thinking that's gross because I'm picturing hundreds of big bullfrogs jumping out of this river, which was more full of frog than actual water. That's gross.
You sissy.
Am I a sissy?
Don't get any frog scum on my carpenter jeans.
Okay, that's cute, isn't it? You go ahead and bathe in a pit of frogs. See how you like it.
Yeah, that's funny. That's cool though. I mean, if I was down in Louisiana, I'd probably want to go frogging.
Would you?
I don't know. Get some Cajun whiskey or something. Go frogging.
Cajun whiskey? Is that even a thing?
It should be. I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Louisiana hot sauce and Jack Daniels, probably.
Right. Fermented wheatgrass or something.
Instant heartburn.
Yeah. And Frogman says to me, he says, we took those frogs home and we skinned and gutted them all night. It took us hours.
Oh, yeah. I'm not into that.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, that doesn't seem to be an appealing way to spend one's time.
Right. Ugh.
And
gross.
And Frogman leans forward and he says, I went to sleep that night and I had this dream that I still remembered vividly. I still remember it vividly. Apparently, this has been on his mind because that was the first thing he said when he burst into my door like Kramer, Do you dream about computer screens? So he had this dream. He was like, I was standing in an empty hallway and I heard a noise and I looked and all of these frogs were wheeling towards me. They were all on these trolleys and their legs They were using their legs to roll themselves towards me. And as they got closer, they held up pencils, and they tried to sell me the pencils that they held in their frog hands.
I like this guy.
And I said, wow. This is a true story, by the way. This happened 2 days ago, and I couldn't believe it. And I said, wow. Because what else do you say to that sort of thing?
Yeah.
And Frogman said to me,
Bunch of Michigan J Frog.
Yeah. He says to me, I haven't been able to eat frog legs since. And I said, why would you want to? Because that's gross, you know?
Did you really say that?
I said, why would you want to? And then Frogman leans forward, and his eyes got really wide. And he says, what about that dream? What do you think it means?
God, this guy's a nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, a walking nightmare talking about his nightmares. You're the psychology major. What do you think it means, that dream?
I think it means that he went frogging, and that's about it. I mean, just his subconscious, bouncing all around.
Yeah, clearly, though.
There's any...
Clearly, he thought there was some deeper meaning to it.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think there's a deeper meaning to most dreams, if not all dreams.
I don't know. You should have seen the look on his face, his big wide eyes. He's like, "Oh, what do you think?"
Well, yeah, I mean, people want to give meaning to dreams. I've had a couple dreams where I'm like, that has to mean something. It just has to. But that doesn't necessarily mean all dreams mean something. That just means there might have been like a crossover with your subconscious and your your reality.
Oh my God! Sometimes
if that makes sense.
Sometimes, my subconscious tries to cross over with my reality, and then my reality posts up and fucking blocks that and kicks it in the next Tuesday.
That's probably good.
Yeah, I think so.
That's probably good.
I think so.
Most subconscious things are meant to be subconscious.
Sure. Yeah, I had no good answer to tell the Frogman, who was desperately searching for some sort of answers, some sort of meaning to his existence in these dreams, you see. I had nothing to tell him.
And it's because there's nothing there.
Yeah, maybe so. But I thought about it, and you think about things after the fact, and you're like, oh, I should have said this. This would have gave him some solace in this silly life. I should have leaned forward. And if it was non-COVID times, maybe I would have put a little hand on his shoulder, But, cooties.
Uh-huh.
I would have leaned forward. I would have looked right into his eyes. And I would have said in my best understanding tone, I think what that dream means is, I think you never know when life is going to write your death certificate. So you have to rib it up. Shut that me, dear boy.
Put it in. We're drinking summer shandy on Thursday. We so motherfucking out here, though. We never been this out here. Woo! So strange when there's change in the speed. What you know about Leonard Skinner? Whacker the intro, the hotter the verse every time, baby. But I've been working like a working man do. Got my act together, gonna walk all over you. Pressure pushing down on me, pushing down on you. Shit, let's raise the roof. Woo! About time, it's the era of the rebels. Cloud 9 in the air up in the vessels. Generation fearless, got a taste for weirdness. Flow on fire, that's the way my beard is. Hard times, jump starting the grind. It's all good, y'all. Things fall apart sometimes. Let it go, let me know when you're ready, though. Don't push me, cuz until the edge I'm close. When the time comes, ride for something. Or live to be 9 and then just die for nothing. Speak their heart, your baby, speak their mind. And I'ma play their part, and I'ma freak that rhyme one time for you. Rhyme one time for you. I'm an island, man. There ain't nothing else by me, man. And I drink enough whiskey to float a battleship around this bitch any motherfucking how. All up in the mix and the place to be. You down for the night? Come funk with me. Like ABC, like 1, 2, 3. As I breeze, like a part the seas. All up in the mix and the place to be. You down for the night? Come funk with me. Like ABC, like 1, 2, 3. As I breeze.
Welcome to the Miserable Retail Slave Show. We're coming to you from the Pod Shack outside beautiful Bay City, Michigan. My name is Randy, and with me is my esteemed colleague. His name is Tommy. Say hello to all the wonderful people out there.
Hello.
Oh, that's not how you talk to folks.
Hi, folks.
Oh, no. That'll get you arrested in most states, you creep.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for listening. How about that?
Nah, that's better.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to us and not Greta Van Fleet. That's what I want to say.
Oh, boy. We beefing now.
Man, they're so cocky about how good they are. They drive me nuts.
Oh, remember that story I had about seeing a Greta Van Fleet in person?
Yeah. Well, you worked in the same town they're from for a while there.
Yeah, he came into the retail paradise that gainfully employs me. I'm going to release that episode on Patreon because I never put it out, I don't think. But I have to because it's a fun tale.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I saw a picture of them today, and the lead singer, he was dressed like Jasmine from Aladdin. It really I'm like, why? Why the fuck are you dressed like that? God damn it.
It's a whole new world, Tommy. A whole new world.
So it's Arabian Nights, right?
Yep.
Oh. God. I don't hate them, but I don't know. They just, I don't know. They always say they're not really influenced by Led Zeppelin. It's like, come on, you sound just like Led Zeppelin.
Oh, yeah, they do. Absolutely, they do.
And
I mean,
they dress it's too much of a gimmick, I think. It's like Larry the Cable Guy of rock, I guess. I don't know. It's like they're good at what they do, but
they sound like a Led Zeppelin cover band. However, they seem to want to insert their own crappy originals in there, and it just doesn't work. It's like, no, just play the hits. Just play the hits.
I mean, they're not bad. I mean, you gotta get. They got the chops. They know how to play. They're all decent musicians. I think they just need to lose the gimmick, and then they'd be a lot better. I think that's what bothers me about them.
Probably so.
And it's he had said something in an interview. I was reading it, and then I was like, no, I'm not going to spend my time on this. But it said something about like people that don't like us are just haters or something like that. And it was something along those lines. And I was just like, come on, dude, people can just not like you.
Yeah,
it's like, I mean, I have a lot of people that don't like me. I know. Ask your buddy Steve or whatever his name was.
The only person I've ever known that hated Tommy, and he hated you with a passion,
why?
A fiery passion.
I know why.
I don't know.
What did I do to this guy?
Nothing. Nothing. He just didn't like you. Sometimes people don't like other folks.
I know, but it's like weird, right? Because I'm like super nice to everybody.
I don't know. He just thought you were a mouth breather, which you are. You are.
I am. Yeah. Okay,
Oof.
Get over it, Steve.
Man, use that voice a couple more times. No wonder he didn't like you.
And the thing is that I don't even care. I don't care that he didn't like me. So
I know.
It's just funny.
I know you don't care. Obviously, you don't care. You're still bringing it up 10 years later. So
it's just funny because I'll never forget you saying like, my buddy Steve, and I was like, yeah, and you're like, you don't like you. I was like, what? What did I do? Because like karaoke maybe got back or something. I don't
maybe
know.
So.
I don't
maybe
know
that's what it was.
I don't know.
Anyways,
do you still talk to him?
I haven't talked to him in many moons. He's in the Army now. Well, he's been in the Army for forever. He's stationed in Alaska now. I don't know.
That's a good place for him to be. Stay up there in the land of the midnight sun.
That's right. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Miserable Retail Slave this week. We appreciate you so much. If you like what you hear, go ahead, tell a friend to listen. That's the best thing you could possibly do. Tommy, I have this thing to tell you, and it's probably not going to shock you. I know you hate technology. You're probably going to be on my side. But I have a feeling that our phones are all spying on us. Did you know this?
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding, right?
Here's a prime example, okay? So I'm sitting on the couch with Pookie, my girlfriend, whom I adore, like late night, I don't know, a few days ago. And we're just, I know what we were doing. We were watching Kong Skull Island, which is the King Kong joint that came out a few years ago. Because we were watching all the recent Godzilla and King Kongs to gear up for Godzilla versus King Kong, the new one, right? Anyways, what?
I said, "Oh wow, yeah, I know how that goes."
What do you know how who's?
I've never seen a King Kong or Godzilla.
You ain't never seen a Godzilla?
Randy.
Oh my god!
Nope. I think I've seen. I know what it is.
Well, yeah.
God, my chair is squeaking. It's annoying me, but if it ain't picking up on the microphone, then I'm okay.
Yeah. I hope it breaks. That would be the best pratfall to have if your seat breaks right now. That would be the best pratfall.
Fall right through my floor.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Okay.
Anyways.
But you guys are watching some, Godzilla movie.
No, we were watching a King Kong movie. We were watching Jesus Christ, why don't you stutter a little bit? We were watching Kong Skull Island, and John Goodman is in it. The great John Goodman.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I might have to watch a King Kong movie.
And we were talking about John Goodman and how great John Goodman is and everything he's ever been in. And we were also remarking on how it's a shame that John Goodman hasn't been in more movies, you know? And then she said, "Well, I didn't really watch Roseanne when I was younger." And
what?
Yeah, I know, right? I'm like, "You didn't watch Roseanne? So you certainly didn't watch the new series at all, did you?" That's all I said. You didn't watch the new series at all, did you?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know what's going to happen.
Your
phone's going to say something about Connors.
Yes, the next day she was Googling something. No, she wasn't. She was on Facebook, I think. And something about the Connors popped up. We didn't say the Connors. No one said anything about the Connors. I said that spinoff show. That's all I said. And it just pops up. God damn it.
I mean, that happens a lot to me. I spend a lot of time online because I'm a loser. But that was supposed to be more funny than sad, but it came out sad.
I'm crying right now.
I sometimes things that I'm just thinking, like say I'm thinking of you and I type Randy into Google, your name would be the first thing that popped up. That's fucking weird. That's happened to me quite a few times.
Why are you Googling me, dude?
I'm just saying you, like, hypothetically, like if I'm thinking of a comedian or an actor or whatever, it always pops up the first one I'm thinking. I've noticed that, and I'm always like, oh, that's strange, but I want to keep learning about people that doesn't matter to me. But all
right,
but
bro.
Yeah, a lot of
you just shot your load. You just admitted you're a huge Randy fanboy, and you Google me every chance you get. That's what I've gathered from this combo.
If I Googled you, it would say, "Come again."
Excuse me. You can't say that on this program. This is a family show.
I'd say who? Randy who?
My God. I heard that squeaky seat. Stop it. What are you rocking back and forth?
You know I'm fidgety. I'm a fidgety boy.
Jesus Christ. What are you, an old grandma on a porch in a rocking chair? Stop it.
It's a leather computer chair. I don't know why it's making so much noise. It's the same one I sit in every week. I don't know what's going on.
My God.
There, I leaned over to the one side, so it's better now. But yeah. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that our phones aren't spying on us constantly. I think it's more of a marketing scheme and stuff. I don't really think it's going to a person. I think it's, just saving it into the phone, and then it just knows what ads to give you and things like that.
Perfect.
Now, I think if they wanted to look at you, they could easily do it. So I think they probably run surveillance through some people's phones, but I don't think there's like a team of CIA agents sitting around in like an Apollo 13 like mission, standing there like, Houston, we have a problem, sort of thing when somebody goes and does something. I think it's got to be like more of a security camera.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think they're actively live watching. That would be boring. I have jokes about this.
Mm-hmm. Here's what I need from you, dear listeners. why I need you to be the best miserables possible. If you enjoy this show so much, whenever you are out in this public of ours and you see somebody on their cell phone, just walk by them and whisper, "Miserable retail slave." And then eventually our ad will pop up for the podcast and we will be so famous. So that's all you need to do. Anytime you're in public, just whisper it out into the air, "Miserable retail slave," and it'll pop up on everybody's phone, apparently.
Famous? Ugh, famous sounds terrible. Could you imagine? Ugh.
I just want to make a healthy living doing this and nothing else, because I've decided getting up in the morning is for the birds. It's for the birds.
Well, actually, I do it. I get up with the beloved, and I make sure the girls get to school and everything. So I do get up in the morning.
Oh,
I used to go back to sleep, but I haven't done it in like a year. So
Christ, you caught yourself. You called her the beloved, but you almost said my wife.
Yeah, very nice.
Very nice, my wife. I get up with my wife.
So yeah, I think it was all part of that positive Tommy thing about not going back to sleep and sleep until noon, and I haven't done that in a long time. So,
I ain't trying to sleep till noon, just like 9, like a respectable hour. Getting up at 6 every morning is it's fucking gross.
Oh yeah, that'd be terrible. I'm never doing that. They couldn't pay me enough to do that.
I mean,
but yeah, I get you. I just want to do comedy. That's all I want to do, and we all know that.
All I want to do is just a zoom, 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 and a boom, boom.
Just shake a rope.
Thank you.
Effects and effects.
Tommy, I've never been a tobacco man. However, you've partook in the cigarillos for a while there.
Yes, I did.
When's the last time?
21.
When's the last time you had a smoke?
January 2019.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Couple years. What a guy.
Yes, sir.
What a pal.
Feels so much better. I remember the first time I had a smoke. We were going to Bubba's, the old hangout.
I was with you?
No, Dave Baldwin was with me.
Okay.
But you were, I'm sure you ended up at Bubba's that night.
Probably.
We stopped at a gas station and we were going to get a dip because we were going to try to become dippers. and that's another story too. And the first time I dipped, whoa, fuck. But the first time I smoked a cigarette, it was a Salem. It was menthol. It was like a black box with like light in neon green on it. That's probably why I chose it. I have no idea why I chose it. And I took a hit and I had to pull off to the side of the road. So that was fun. And then that lasted about maybe like 5 cigarettes.
Wow.
It was like a day later I'm smoking and there's no effect. I do miss him in a way. It was like a break, it was like a break from reality. And I think that's what people get hooked on. I think that's the habitual addiction part was, of course the nicotine and stuff, but, as for like the actual, like I miss like when I'm at the bar, I miss having to go out and have a smoke. I just miss that. It just broke up the monotony, I guess, or whatever. It just, I don't know. There's something about going out for a smoke.
Oh, it was a bonding experience with all your smoking chums.
Well, even if I went out alone, I don't know. I did enjoy smoking. If it didn't kill you and if it didn't ruin my lungs and all that, then I would absolutely do it 100% all the time.
Yeah. If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger, Tommy.
That's right. And I think that, of course, you see now the kids with the vapes and stuff, but I mean, like back then, like in our age, there was no vapes. I never did it to be cool. I never thought it was that thing. I just decided to try it one night and it stuck. I never was a all the time smoker though. A pack a week maybe.
I don't think that most of these teens these days smoke the cigarettes, do they?
No. As I said, they got the vapes and stuff.
I remember.
cigarettes.
Yeah, Like, I don't see anyone buying cigarettes anymore. I see them buying dip, and that's about it. But the other day, I was at the gas station, and this is my question to you. Are cigarettes like alcohol? Like, do you need a different kind or brand for different moods or occasions to cleanse the palate? Because this man walks up to the counter, he ordered 4 different brands of cigarette. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what's this, a buffet?
Oh, he's probably getting them for 4 different people.
That's insane. Why would you do that?
Sometimes I would switch, and I said pack a week, but man, if back when we could smoke in the bars, I'd go through a pack a night easily.
Holy cow, you chimney.
Oh, not even. Sometimes, pack and a half. I would leave the bar. I would go to the bar with a, like a pack and a half with me and then run out, It was easy when you could smoke in the bars. I mean, you just, they were just there, and then, of course, when you had to start going outside, which was May 2010. I remember that because I just
Jesus,
started
you marked it on your calendar.
I remember I started comedy March of 2010, and one of the first questions I had to ask myself was, am I going to be an on-stage smoker? Because you could smoke on stage. And I never did, and I'm glad I never did. I know, I only had 2 months to make it a habit, but yeah, that's why I remember that it was May 2010, because I just started comedy, and I was like, am I going to take a cigarette up there? And I probably shouldn't have took the beer either.
No, well.
That ship has sailed. But yeah, sometimes I would get Marlboro Lights, sometimes I would get Marlboro Ultra Lights, and sometimes I would get American Spirits.
Yeah, but all at once?
No. I remember one time me and Abe Falcon were going up north to his aunt's and uncle's house, and we had a bunch of beer and cigarettes, and we stopped, and I bought regular cigarettes and I bought menthol cigarettes. He's like, "Why'd you do that?" And I was like, "I'm trying to figure out which one I like better." And to me, at the time, it made sense, but looking back, I'm like, God, cigarette shopping, huh? I got to figure out what kind of smoker I'm going to be.
Yeah, what kind of smoking identity am I going to have?
That's right. And I ended up going with the regulars. But every once in a while, somebody had a menthol. Oh boy, that was like candy.
Yeah, what a treat.
Mm-hmm.
All you honkies love those treats, don't you? Those smoky treats.
And yeah, I remember the last one I had, me and Keith, who we were coming back from band practice, and we witnessed this car accident, and the person was a hit and run.
Jesus Christ.
So we pulled over and
watched a man die and then took a cigarette.
No,
you had to take a cigarette break because you're like, man, that was deep. Cool.
No, we pulled over. It was in January 2019, and it was it was a single mom. She was running up to McDonald's to get her kid some food, and she didn't have her license or insurance on her. And yeah, so we, who knows what would have happened if we wouldn't have stopped, because we corroborated her story, and the cop was just like, get out of here, to her, like, just leave, like, go, because he didn't want to give her a ticket or anything for not having insurance and stuff. So she drove her half a car away, literally, like, the back, it was almost like smashed all the way up to the back seat, like right. the whole back tires were exposed and everything. It was crazy
God.
that she drove away, but yeah, but I remember when we were waiting for the cops, Keith had, I was already trying to quit, so I didn't have any on me, and Keith offered her one and then offered me one, and so yeah, that was the last cigarette I ever had.
Wow, what a memory.
And I remember I had a really bad cold too that night, so I was like, this is so stupid that I'm smoking this in the middle of January in Michigan. It's like 19 degrees out.
And then you probably came over to the pod shack and did the podcast and was worthless, so thank you.
Well, at least I was consistent.
Yeah, that's right. So, are we ready to pronounce that band of yours dead? Is it gone? Is it deceased? You never
No, I don't
hooked up for some
Zoom
jam sessions?
No, my bass player said that he would bring my drums to me this weekend. I hope that happens. I got a few things that I need to go do, so we might not be able to hook up, but hopefully I can get my drums this weekend, and then I would think, now that it's warmer out, then I could probably have Mr. Keith over. And bass player lives in Ann Arbor now, so
God,
we went through a lot of bass players. I think the band has always just really been me and Keith since like 6th grade. So
the backbone.
I
yeah.
would say, I wouldn't say it's dead. I would say it's probably going to go through another reformation.
Oh man, it's going
I
in
don't know
that
if this is interesting or
it,
funny to anybody.
it's going in that band cocoon, and it's gonna emerge a beautiful butterfly of sonic
Yeah. I mean,
delights.
yeah.
Tommy, I've been doing a lot of reflection, like I'm some sort of fucking mirror or something. You ever reflect on your life?
Oh, too much.
Too much. Oh my God. What's the earliest vivid memory that you can recall, Tommy? I'm not talking about bits and pieces. I mean vivid, real life. Fucking, you
Oh,
close your
gosh.
eyes and you're almost there.
I've been wanting to tell this on stage. I'm not sure if I've pieced together the memories over the years because I'm a big fan of false memories. I study false
You're
memories.
a big fan of false memories.
I'm a big
I'm a fan of like inserting happy
What?
false memories into my own life and making things better.
I wholeheartedly believe in them. I think they happen probably almost as often as real memories. So I think that I would say most of the memories that you have are fabricated, at least in some way.
Is that true?
You know,
I don't think so.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah. I guarantee it. Guarantee it.
Well, prove
Guarantee
it.
It's just.
Prove it.
We can't prove it.
Well,
Science,
then you
but
can't guarantee it, can you?
Well, technically, I can't guarantee it, but I mean, like, if I had to put like my whole heart and soul behind it, I would say yeah. Well, if I wasn't doing comedy, I would be lecturing on false memories. There ain't no doubt about it. It's the most interesting thing in the world to me because it blows people's mind and it blows my mind, but it's actually easy to understand once you dive into how the brain like works. Backyard Barbecue, 1985, probably 86, maybe.
So you
I was
would have
probably
been
3
what?
years old.
Oh, Jesus. All
3,
right.
yeah, 3 or 4, maybe. You know, I would say 3 or 4. I had this problem, and this is why I don't remember if it's an actual like real memory or if it's just something. I know it happened. It definitely happened, but I mean the specifics and the details and the memories probably have been not fabricated, but I probably only probably what I'm picturing in my head is just what I imagined. Does that make sense? Happened?
I suppose so, yeah.
Because you're saying like vivid memory. It's probably what I just imagined of it having because we've always talked about it, my whole family, my whole life, because it's crazy. But
well, I mean, and you were super young too. I mean, I'm not discounting. Like, I remember things from when I was super young, but just bits and pieces, really. I think the age under the age of 10 is like a lost decade, much like your 20s. They're both dedicated to partying and being selfish and just living a hedonistic existence.
Yeah, and this bears taking note of is that Louis C.K. has the best joke ever on memories. You know what I'm talking about, where he's taking the shit in the front yard. And he's just like, all of a sudden, I just came online.
Yeah.
This is his first memory. It's just the way he said he came online is just the best way to describe it. But because he's talking about he's never making memory, he's talking about his young daughter and blah blah blah. She got bit by the horse and fuck it or whatever. He didn't take her somewhere, and he's like, fuck it, she's not making memories. And then he goes into the story of his first memory. But anyway, so we're at this backyard barbecue. My parents' best friends at the time, Rex and Debbie, and then Rex and Debbie's friends, Dude, and I think his name was Gary, and her name was Dude.
Dude and Gary.
Don't know her real. Yeah. Isn't that awesome?
That's the most amazing thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that 80s America backyard barbecue perfection?
Oh yeah, we're just waiting for Dude and Gary to show up. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So Dude and Gary, and this you'll know why I always go over this and why I want to do it on stage here in a second. So I come running up to my dad at the backyard barbecue, and I'm grabbing his pant leg and I'm crying, and I'm saying, "Dad, I'm thinking of a bad word. It can't stop." I think I've told you this before.
It can't stop.
I can't stop thinking of a bad word.
Right.
We've never talked about this before.
I don't know.
I mean, this is how far back my OCD goes, and so I knew I shouldn't be thinking of a bad word. I knew it's wrong to say bad words, and so my parents don't know what to do, right?
Yeah.
And Gary overhears this, and he's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "Come again?" Like you're killing my buzz here, you little fucking shit. What are you talking about? And so he comes over, and he's like, "What's going on?" And I'm
not to interrupt, but I really want to know what Dude's response was.
I don't remember. I just remember Gary.
Sure.
I don't remember. I don't know. I don't know if the women were probably inside shucking corn or something. I don't know.
Oh my God.
I don't know. The guys were grilling around the back. I didn't mean it to be sexist, but
that's the women's place in the
they-
kitchen, shucking corn. You heard it here, folks.
I didn't say necessarily in the kitchen, did I? But this was the 80s, so that's where most women were. The guys were drinking Budweiser around the grill.
And the women were just shucking
toasting,
away. Constantly shucking these women.
Toasting wine in the kitchen.
Yep.
So Gary hears me crying over Dad. I'm thinking of a bad word. He's super perplexed and confused.
Yeah.
And he comes over and he's like, "What'd he say?" And my dad's trying to explain it to him. And the whole time I'm just like, "I'm thinking of a bad word and I can't stop. I'm thinking of a bad word and I can't stop." And Gary gets like eye level with me and he's like, "You thinking of a bad word?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Whoop your ass. That's a bad word. Whoop your ass. So whoop your ass. You ever think of a bad word again? I fucking whoop your ass. You ever think of a bad word again?" And from what I remember, I'm just like, ugh. My dad said that my eyes got really big and I'm just kind of like frozen. And there's this guy that's yelling at me that if I ever think of a bad word again, he's going to whip my ass. And my dad said, that was it. I never talked about it ever again. That was it. I guess I was always afraid of dudes bringing Gary over and
Right.
Gary
Yeah.
throwing empty Budweiser cans at my head for, thinking a bad word or something. But that's probably the first memory and I've been trying to figure out a way to tell that on stage. Oh my God, for years. And
Do you remember what the word was though?
No, I wish I did.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I did.
It was probably
And,
like poopy farts or something.
You're right. It probably was. Yeah. What if it was cunt? Just the worst fucking word. Like I'd be crying right now if I thought of that word.
Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible. I apologize for saying that word. I hate that word, but I just thought about the.
I do too, but
it
was totally worth it in this instance.
Yeah, I had to. Yeah. But it's funny that my OCD was around that long ago, but then it just like disappeared and it didn't come back to like my early 20s. So it was weird. I guess Gary scared me that much.
Yeah, while Dude was shucking corn and not keeping him in line. Damn it, Dude. The dude abides, damn it.
Yeah. Oh, too funny.
Um,
What's your earliest memory?
Well, it's funny to me that your earliest vivid memory is a fucking trauma because that's clearly what happened. You were traumatized. Mine was too. I mean, I remember bits.
Yeah, I think it's got to be. It's got to be something shocking or, like you said, traumatic or something. Because why else would I mean, that's another reason why we remember things. So go ahead.
Yeah, mine was a trauma too, and I know this wasn't some fucking false memory that was implanted in my brain from family stories and whatnot, because I was the only one that witnessed it. Me and my classmates. I was in kindergarten. So what?
Well,
5?
I do want to say that actually happened. I'm just saying I don't know if the details that I'm picturing in my head were exactly how it happened, but it did happen. Okay, go ahead.
So I was probably 5 because I was the youngest in my class. So probably 5, possibly 6, probably 5. And I remember walking out at the end of the day to the bus, and I look back, and this kid, Josh, had this snot flowing down from his nose.
That sounds like a Josh thing.
It's a totally Josh thing. And it was so green. It was like this Nickelodeon slime flowing out of his nose. It was like a possessed exorcist chick just projectile vomited pea soup over his face. It was so gross. This disgusting pig, this fucking Josh, is just flowing down from his nose, you see. And I just remember seeing this and being this little conscious little human being and being repulsed completely by what I saw. And obviously the kids around me saw it as well. And me being the quiet boy at the time didn't say shit, just looked at this and was having just this adverse reaction to seeing this. And the kids around me started saying, wipe your face, wipe your fucking face. You know, they didn't say fucking, but they're like, wipe your face, you got snot. And he did.
Right.
He wiped his face, but wiping the snot plus boogers with one finger is what he did. And then he ate it. He ate it. He fucking ate it. And I gagged so hard that I almost puked. And I remember seeing this Josh through the tears in my eyes, just retching so hard. And I see this blurry Josh with a smile on his face, just so content. And even now, back then, as I stood there dying, I knew it was the worst thing ever. And even now, when I think about it, I just want to fucking gag my life away. It makes me so fucking sick. Anytime this memory has popped into my head, I just start almost gagging and throwing up. It's so fucking gross.
So let's record it for everybody else.
Yeah.
I remember I was probably 7 or 8, and I had a similar experience. I won't say. Well, I can say the kid's name. His name was Paul. And I saw him on the bus, and and for some reason I caught a glimpse of him, and he was mowing away on his boogers. I'll never forget that either. And I was probably, I know it had to be 7 or 8.
It makes me sick.
Maybe 9, but yeah. I mean, and I remember like catching it out of the corner of my eye and doing like a double take, and he was going back for more, and his thumb and pointer fingers was going from his nostril to his lips pretty rapidly.
Man. These guys that ate their boogers are the same people that watch UFC today. I know it. I just know it.
I've never tried them. Have you tried a booger?
I've never tried a booger. It's probably full of protein and good for those muscle gains to get so swole.
Well, aren't they? Isn't it like dust and debris and shit?
Yeah,
so
it's
probably not.
Shit your body's trying to get rid of. It's basically the nose. It's basically nose shit. It would be like sticking your finger up your ass and eating that too.
Yeah. Oh, gross. Yeah, I don't have any memories of anybody doing that. Thank God.
Oh man. Yeah. On that cheery note, this has been the Miserable Retail Slave Show. What's your vivid memory? Call the Miserable Hotline, 810-328-3826. Tell us your favorite early, funny, vivid memory. I don't want to hear about your dog dying, for Christ's sake.
Right.
Ugh.
And then Snowflake ran in the road.
Yeah. May 20th. That's coming up real quick, sir. May 20th, live stream for the Cure, 8 p.m. Miserable Retail Slave will be a part of that. Being funny, raising money for cancer research. I urge you, implore you, ask that you all tune in. It'll be great.
Yeah, somehow I still haven't gotten a show that night. So
thank God.
Imagine that.
We're dodging bullets.
Just get a show. I did add just a show May 29th at the Tippy Creek Winery in Leesburg, Indiana.
Oh boy.
I have to double check, but I think that's how you say it.
You're really hitting that.
That's close.
You're really hitting that Indiana town real hard. This Indiana is getting a whole lot of Tommy injected into it.
Yeah, because I just booked. I've been to Indiana once already since the pandemic's over. I went to Nashville, Indiana. Then I'm going to Portage, Indiana next month, and then I'm going to Leesburg next month, and then in September I'm going to Anderson, Indiana. So yes, I am all over the state of. I think I have more booked in Indiana right now than I do Michigan.
We're sick of you. Get out of here.
Yeah, right. I got to go out of town. I got to keep getting farther away from my home state to get any shows.
Right.
Usually that would be a good thing, but
yeah. Do us a great big favor. Go to that Facebook.com. Join our Facebook group. Search Miserable Retail Slave. Follow me on Twitter at mretailslave. Friend Tommy on Facebook. His name is Tommy Thompson. TOM space E Thompson. It's not, I don't know. Pookie, my girlfriend, whom I adore, thinks your name is Tom E. I'm like, no, it's Tommy. He just is an idiot.
Everybody says it unless I tell people otherwise. Like sometimes I'll tell like the MC, and sometimes I'll forget. But I don't blame them.
Yeah,
I don't blame them because that's way it's written. But yeah, even when I tell them, sometimes people are just like, it's Tommy.
Right.
And then I got to go, well, there's a comedian in Minnesota named Tommy Thompson, and the story I've told on here. But yeah, so yeah, it's a common. I can't even call it a mistake. I mean, they're reading English. So.
Yeah. Anyways, live stream for The Cure 5. It's coming up, but we hope you tune in. Our 9-year anniversary is coming up, for crying out loud. Our 300th episode. So much fun.
We're like third graders now.
Yeah, man. We are. We're about to have vivid memories about our lives finally.
I was just gonna say we're making memories now.
Finally. Hashtag making memories on this fucking joint.
What's that? Midnight Memories? Isn't that an emo song?
Probably. Sounds like it.
Oh, I think it's a One Direction song.
Oh, well, okay. Sure. I
think it is. Midnight Memories. Yeah.
Don't stop singing. You're about to give me another trauma. We'll see you next time. Until then, stay miserable. Bye-bye.
Bye.